Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Print Fury back, and it's been a long time. So I'm looking to put together a video today to show off a couple of skills that we might not have looked at before. I'm going to be making an Andre the Giant by request. And I just wanted to say thank you to Joe Petka. It was his image that kind of come up with the idea for this video to be made, and we'll take it from there. Thanks.
Print Fury Customs. Contact the man himself, Kevin Pelkey, on Facebook. Print Fury Customs. You won't be sorry.
So I've already gone ahead and uploaded all the figures that we're going to need for today. You can see we're going to use short hair Andre. We'll take his top, and we'll take Greg the Hammer's legs, and we will throw those together. I've got another head over here that we can kind of add on there just to see if we like it. Otherwise, we can keep the Andre head. But the first thing I want to do is kind of focus on Andre here. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to plane cut, if you guys remember that, and we'll just take the bottom part of Andre off here. So edit function, plane cut. That's just a very straightforward cut. We're just going to take it right across the waist. And we will keep top half, lower it just below the waistline. Spin it around just so I make sure I got the right portion on the top there. That looks good enough, so I'll go ahead and accept that. And then we're going to work on Hammer and taking his legs. So again, edit, plane cut. And we're going to take it right up close to the waist there. Might even want to angle just a little bit more, just to make sure we get enough meat there. And I can, we can always blend that in. So we'll just take a portion of that, cut that. And that should be enough. So now we'll go ahead and slide that right over. Hotkey T for transform. And we're just going to slide that over, slide it back, and we're just going to get that right in place. Take a little bit here just to get the right size here. Tilt the angle. Andre is such a big dude. We want to make sure we got enough leg there. Zoom in can help. Play around with the spin. And I think I want to enlarge these maybe just a little bit. So remember, enlarge is going to be this white cube in the middle. Left click, drag it upwards to increase size, drag it downwards to decrease. Yeah, I just want to make them just a little bit bigger. Give me less smoothing out here. I'm going to go ahead and try to attempt a freehand singlet on this as well. I'll try to draw that in there. Don't know how well it'll look, but we're going to give it a shot. So I think proportion-wise, that looks okay. Kind of want to lean it forward just a bit. Still wonder if I could make those just a hair bigger. Hammer had such huge legs, but if I can make them just a little bit bigger, just to really increase that overall size of Andre, I will, I'll do a side-by-side comparison of him and another LJN side-by-side too, just to see how tall he does turn out to be, especially with the increased leg size. I know Pekka's got a pretty good picture of him, him and his Hogan there. Looks pretty awesome. But I think that's all right. We'll go ahead and take that. And now I'll go ahead and accept that. And then I'm just going to smooth out some of that torso piece there. So I'll grab him. And then sculpt brush. Brushes. Shrink smooth is one of my favorites. And we're just going to shrink this up just a little bit. Just kind of get rid of that. And don't worry about kind of muddying up or taking away some of Andre's stomach here, because like I said, we're gonna put on a singlet, and hopefully that'll look pretty good anyway. So smooth all that. Shrink smooth the seam. I always felt like Andre with the singlet kind of barrel chested himself. Looked really cool. I'm just going to smooth out that belly button right there while we're at it. There, so we got that somewhat kind of what we want. Angle looks okay. I don't think he's leaning too far one way or the other, so I kind of want to bring a lean forward just a bit though, so tilt those legs just a bit more. A little bit of that forward lean. All right, and then I'll have to go back in and re-smooth that again. And we'll accept that for now. I don't want to take up too much time here. Try to make these videos as watchable as possible. So sculpt, shrink smooth, tuck this back in again. That's going to look good. And we can always come back in and fill space, shrink space, whatever we want to do afterwards. But we do have to focus on combining those two pieces. So highlight the two and Boolean union. And let's see if we get a connection here without any errors. Looks good, so go ahead and accept that. And come back through with another brush, shrink smooth again. Kind of reinforce or redo that seam there. So again, it's been a while since I last made a video. I apologize. Been a pretty busy, hectic summer. Hopefully everybody's enjoying themselves as seasons kind of switch over to fall. Definitely been watching a lot of football, fantasy football. Not doing so great on all my teams, but kind of is what it is. Smooth that out. And now to draw the singlet, I think I'll work on that next. We're gonna take it right over this right shoulder here. And again, I'm just gonna freehand, so bear with me if this doesn't come out perfect the first time, second time, third time. It's gonna be kind of iffy here, but I'll grab size probably 30 and just kind of draw that in a little bit more strength. Don't forget your hotkey Control Z to kind of kill anything that you're not really digging. Give it a little bit more strength. Really want this to kind of pop up. Yeah, okay, so let's bring size down a little bit. Let's go 25. Let's go 95 on the strength. And yeah, let's kind of draw that in right there. And this is just one way to do, obviously, a freehand draw of this. Not the easiest thing to do. If I had my drawing tablet, it might make it a little easier, but I didn't like that shape. The longer you hold, the more intense this draw is going to be, and just kind of winging it here. Kind of use that natural curve of Andre's body there to work with that singlet. We can use a couple of cool tools after too to kind of tighten that up if we can. Pinch tool works really nice. Flatten tool to make this more of a rounded edge, and I think that'll look pretty sharp as well. Just want to kind of throw it in there. Hopefully everybody can kind of see that falling into place. Probably looks more like a Jake the Snake makeup here as opposed to an Andre. A kind of snake looking thing across the shoulder there. But I think on the next move it'll hopefully look a little bit better and make a little bit more sense to kind of my thought process behind making that. So let's go in and grab another brush. We'll do flatten and just work on kind of flattening out the singlet. And that'll kind of tighten up that edge as well. And you can kind of not worry so much on this bottom part because that's just going to get smoothed in. But if you see me kind of tilting my head, I apologize. It's one way to get that up in there. And again, just kind of smooth out the bottom. We just really kind of worry about that top line. Get that more of a hard edge if we can. Yeah, that looks pretty cool. We'll come back in and smooth that out anyway. Sometimes doing this type of work, I actually almost prefer old school epoxy to do this. I feel like I have a little bit better control doing it that way, but this is the best way I found to kind of add on details like this, singlets. It's exactly how I made the Bushwhackers. If you've ever seen my copy of the Bushwhackers kind of tops. It's exactly how I made those. Just kind of fill in, add in using the draw tool, add in some material, use the flatten tool to kind of flatten it out, and then we'll come back in and smooth that bottom. And we got ourselves sort of a decent looking singlet there. Let's just finish up. This top piece. Shakes are kind of working with me today instead of against me. Although that one didn't feel right. That felt pretty good. And we have sort of a makeshift singlet there. I don't love that right side, but it's good enough for LJN, I guess. All right, now we'll come back through and just kind of smooth. You could either use the shrink. Bubble smooth might actually not be a bad brush for this. Probably increase size a little bit. Just kind of smooth out that bottom. Make sure that belly button's gone. Probably getting annoyed with mouse clicks. I do apologize for that. But so far, of some of the videos that you've seen me do, I've had a lot of feedback on them, a lot of comments, a lot of questions. So I appreciate that. Any feedback you've got, please feel free to reach out to me on Facebook, Instagram, leave a comment on the video. Anything you can do helps as far as getting content that you guys want to see. Some new figure designs, anything like that. I'm happy to work with you. Happy to help out if you're having issues with any of the things I've shown. I get hit up quite a bit with questions on how I do certain things, or if I could help out or recommend or help fix a few things. But anyways, I'm digging that. I think that's really cool. So first, next, let me try to fix that waist piece there a little bit. Yeah, I think we'll go with that. It's not perfect, but we could come back and try a pinch as well. Maybe even to tighten up that line. The one thing I worry about using the pinch tool is that it's pretty aggressive. You can obviously lower the strength, but you're really going to tighten up some of that stuff real quick. Pinch tool, I don't think is a tool I've shown before on this channel. Didn't quite love that one. I like a little bit of a softer edge on it, to be honest with you. If it gets too hard, it kind of digs in. Come back in. There we go. Then we kind of smooth that, shrink smooth. There we go. So there's that. I think that's pretty close to what Pekka had. Not sure what that line is there, but fix that up. Pretty close, and I'm going to go ahead and export and save that out just like that. And then I'll go ahead and do the head swap afterwards. And bear with me while I save this real quick. Save this down, then we'll do a quick head swap. We'll see how that comes to shape, and we'll probably go with that. Probably not be a bad pose to add in the the Ricky the Dragon hands. That seems pretty popular for Andre. I could come back in and do that as well. All in all, I'm feeling pretty excited about this build. Once that saves out. Should be just about saving. I'm assuming on your screen that probably doesn't have the progress bar that saved, but I apologize. Should just take another minute. Otherwise, I can just cut this right out. Now we got that done, so let's go ahead and let's do the old hat swap here. T to transform. Bring Andre's head right up and over. This, I believe, came from a Jax version, Jax Superstars. Definitely gonna have to increase size here. Don't want to go too big, but I gotta fill in that head. Once I cut this, the LJN version off, it's gonna look pretty weird. So let's go ahead and, well, let's start with that anyway. Accept that. And then we're going to cut that LJN Andre head. So first thing I want to do is select, using your select tool, we can just lasso the head. We don't want to cut off the wrists or the hands by mistake on this. So just use the lasso tool and use edit. And we're going to use another plane cut. And I want to keep as much neck as possible. I'll probably do something like that. Use that arrow there to flip sides, what we want removed. And I'm going to cut off quite as much as I originally was thinking. I can always just shrink it back. But what I want to avoid is just kind of cutting off too much here. I want to be able to have some shape and size to play with. But we'll go ahead and accept that. And you can see the new Andre head kind of falling into place there. Actually, not even that bad of a size. Might be able to go just a hair larger. Again, guys, it's all just judgment here on size and everything else, what you think. But I'll accept that. Might have gone too big there, but let's shrink back this old Andre piece using shrink smooth, and just kind of shrink it back. There's even some other tools here that I might end up using just to make this go a little bit quicker, but I just don't want to be too aggressive here. Move tool is another nice tool in parts like this where you can just kind of eliminate excess space or excess part pieces that you don't want. I'll show you that in just a second. Move tool is really useful. But I'm just going to continue to shrink smooth this until it's just really pretty much gone. There we go. Work on this side, shrink smooth again. And it's going to take a while to get this big bump on the back of his head from his hair. I've got shrink smooth kind of power maxed out, but let me go ahead and use the move tool. Move, like I said, just kind of moves a bunch of clay in and around. Just basically tucking it right inside of the Andre head, and then we'll kind of smooth it out after. Shrink smooth. Holding down the left click just to execute the shrink, and just kind of cutting into that. Smoothing out that neck right up to the hairline. Get a nice look into there, what's going on. Make sure there's no gaps. gaps or holes to the inside of the model can be trouble. And you can kind of see one kind of developing right there. Take brush, come back, bubble smooth, just kind of fill that in. And there we go. Now, Andre might be a touch too big. Yeah, again, judgment here on what you think is appropriate size. I just shrunk that down just a hair, so I'll come back in and re-smooth that line. Paying attention right on that back of the head. Sculpt again, shrink smooth. Don't want to take too much of that away, actually. So I'll leave that there. Got the inside of the head there. Shrink back the neck a little bit. You can sort of see a little bit of texturing from the head scan. We can even come back in and smooth out that texturing. You can see it now a little bit better. Shrink smooth and just be real light with this and just kind of smooth over that texturing. Won't harm the final print. You certainly won't see any of that, but when you're making the 3D digital model, it's kind of cool to just kind of smooth that out a little bit. This would be a good head probably to rock some cool sideburns on him. Just kind of smoothing out some of that texture. Leaving the texture in the hair, that's fine. But trying to make the skin look a little bit more like skin. And then, there, straight on looks good. It might have weird looking chin though. When all said and done, let's tilt that out a little bit. Yeah, I like that move. I just kind of tilt him back a little bit so he's looking a little bit more up. Give him less of a little bit more of a defined chin there. And then come back in. Accept that, and then we'll come back in and eliminate that. We'll attach the head. It needs to just shrink smooth. Up that neck a little bit, and we are ready to Boolean union those. So let's go ahead and highlight both items, Boolean union, and hopefully we don't have any errors there. You'll know it if it gets an error. It'll turn completely red on you. And pretty alarming, actually. Yeah, it looks pretty good. So we're going to accept that. Once that finishes up, we'll go from there. Should be able to even set this to print tonight, get a good copy of it. So now that's all one piece. I'm gonna come back in, sculpt, shrink smooth, and just kind of focus a little bit on that there, that union. Smooth out the union of the head and neck. Make sure there's no entrance into the inside. Smooth that line there. There. And then one last step. Before I do that, I'm just going to analyze it, make sure there's no holes that I'm not aware of. And yeah, there's an issue, especially where I moved all that hair inside. Looks like we ended up with, yeah, that issue right there. Just a floating piece of material. Go ahead and click on auto repair and that should just disappear. Make this piece just go bye-bye. Which it did. And let's see here. Last thing I like to do is just to make solid. Don't forget to adjust your solid type to accurate. I'll leave that on automatic, that's fine. And then what I like to do is increase these numbers to 1028. Update that, and that'll make that a more of a solid piece. What that'll do is, again, fill in any holes or any gaps if we ended up mistakenly leaving any pieces. Got a lot of projects in the works after this one. Going to be making a new iron mic sharp here shortly for my friend Nat at XOX Customs. That'll be hopefully made sometime this week. And then I'll be looking at working on a set of Galoob prototypes. If you guys ever seen the prototypes of the old Galoobs, the Diamond Stud. Let's see, they had Freebirds robed, a robed version of Ric Flair, a Ricky Morton, a PN News, and there was another one too there. Whatever Billy Jack Haynes' gimmick was, and when he went over to WCW, he had a hood, Executioner or something maybe. I'll be looking to put those together. Or I should say, I'll be looking to actually scan those, smooth them out, and see if I can't make some Galoob scale prints off of those. That'll be pretty exciting. To have a copy of those prototypes. Always something I've always wanted geez, really for the longest time, ever since I got back into collecting again, and even knew that those were available. Galoob was one of the first sets I completed. Actually, I'm missing a couple of the UK variants. I don't have the Brian Pillman blue. I still don't have a copy of that. And I don't have the LJN, or excuse me, the Lex Luger UK with the different colored trunks. But that's what it looks like after I make it solid. And I'm going to go back in. Let me go ahead and accept that. I do like that. I'm going to fix these mold lines. More so on the leg. I don't mind the boot mold line there that much, but I want to smooth out that on the leg, and then we will call this one done. And I did not forget to bring in another LJN to emphasize size of this guy. I think he's going to look pretty awesome next to another LJN here. Shrink smooth, just to touch that up a little bit. There we go, nothing major. Mold lines there in the center. On the inner thighs there. Don't want to go too much, don't want to change definition, just touch those up a little bit. That's a nice heavy one there. The shrink smooth is my friend. All right, so now get a straight on shot of him. And let's let's import a guy here. And what's a wrestler pretty to scale size wise, maybe. Well, let's see how he looks next to a Macho Man. Let's bring in the old Macho Man and see what he looks like next to him. I'm hoping it's a pretty decent size difference here. Imports can always take a few minutes. T to transform, bring him a little bit closer here. And it looks already we got a pretty decent size difference here. Work on lining him up. And yes, head and shoulders above him. So there he is next to the Macho Man. But we'll go ahead and just get rid of Macho. And we've got the Andre here. And that's it for today. So thanks guys for checking it out. Pretty rad Andre build. And I'll try to be a little bit more frequent here. Don't forget to send me your questions, your recommendations, your whatever it is. Hit me up again. Facebook, leave me some comments. I'd really appreciate the subscribe and the like. Thanks again, guys. Talk to you soon.